So the Steph Curry Sabrina 3-point shootout is not happening, and I think we can all guess why. So the NBA All-Star event is coming up in T-minus 2 days. Everyone was anticipating a Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, like Splash Brothers, Splash Sisters, Battle of the Sexes, like whatever you want to call it, shootout. And I think we're all aware that Caitlin Clark had declined being a part of the event, saying she wanted her first 3-point contest to be in Indiana. And I think she's just trying to, grow the WNBA with the massive amount of motion she has going on right now in her career. Because imagine the boys in the NBA coming over to the girls' side in the WNBA and actually like propping up and uplifting the league in that way. That would be box office. Steph Curry over to the WNBA. What a power move. But I do think that the NBA was trying to use Caitlin Clark's like crazy power of presence right now to boost their declining numbers and declining interest. But I believe, and I can't say what Caitlin Clark was thinking or not, but it seems to be that she was like, you know what, the WNBA does need that recognition also. And and the WNBA is the league that, I'm talking about salary caps here. I'm always looking at salary caps. The starting minimum salary for the rookies for 2025 is $78,000, and the starting minimum salary in the NBA, if you just suck and you're not even like, you haven't proven yourself at a professional level, is over $1 million. I think Caitlin Clark is really trying to change that, and she has changed so much for the game. Why not shoot your shot? Get Steph Curry and Klay Thompson or Klay Thompson over to the WNBA All-Star game. I still think that could help the NBA ratings, the NBA interest. Either way, I think people were still looking forward to the Sabrina Steph shootout because last season, it was one of those things that you just did not expect to be as good as it was. And it it was outviewed by any aspect of NBA All-Star Weekend. And it was a one-of-a-kind event. Steph Curry did win the event, but Sabrina Ionescu was like right on his tail, which in a battle of the sexes type thing is very impressive. But in something that has been produced in such an organic way, and the popularity, it was unseen, it was not predicted. I just don't know that you can plan for that type of thing again and it be as big. Because, if Sabrina lost again, even if it was by this much, it wouldn't be as, talked about as much. If Sabrina won, it probably would, but there's no, you can't really predict that. But Sabrina did appear on a Big Ten tailgate show prior to an Oregon football game, and she did mention being down to have Caitlin Clark as her teammate for the 3-point contest.
I hear that they want to go back and go 2-on-2, Steph and Klay. Who would your partner be if you get to do this?
If I would have to choose, I'm taking Caitlin Clark on my team.
Oh, there we go!
But Shams is the one that broke the news, and according to him, the reporting is that the NBA WNBA shootout with Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu is off. We weren't able to land on a plan we thought would raise the bar off of last year's special moment. We all agreed not to proceed and will instead keep focus on the All-Star Sunday's new format. And the new format, I'm not sure it's going to really make that big of a difference, because basically they're scrapping the classic East versus West All-Star tournament and they're focusing on 4-team mini tournaments where the 3 teams are made up of the classic NBA All-Stars, and the 4th team is going to be a Rising Stars team, which I just think is gonna get smoked because it's first and second year seeds and there's G League standouts. And how can you compare that to your LeBron Jameses, your Jokic's, your Luka Doncic? Actually, is Luka Doncic in it this year? I'm sure he is. He has to be. Steph Curry. I don't see Wemby by himself with a bunch of good G League stars beating these guys. I hope I'm not overstepping here. And we all know if Caitlin Clark decided that she was going to do this event, that would be the draw that the NBA needed to have this battle of the sexes thing totally be successful, no matter the outcome. But I don't like this, because if the outcome were that, Sabrina and Caitlin did lose to Steph and Klay, I just think there would be a little the boys are better than girls. The WNBA still sucks. Like, I don't know. I think that weighing the variables, it just works better if it happens over in the WNBA. Because at least then there are still eyes on the WNBA and eyes on the product. But I don't know, the way that Caitlin Clark is like swole and like all the work she's putting in, that girl works out daily from what reports are saying. And she's looking really good. She is hyper-focused on this season, and she is coming out to attack. But I will say, Sabrina did suffer a minor injury. She got an operation on her hand after the season ended, and the Liberty became champions. And she has not necessarily been performing at that Sabrina Ionescu level that we're used to seeing in Unrivaled. So it might have been a bit of a letdown anyway if she did participate. And that's not her fault. That's just like, coming back from an injury. She's not at the top of her game, and you want to be at the top of your game if you're going against Steph Curry. You know what I think, though? After watching these 1v1 tournaments in Unrivaled, I think the NBA should do this because it's so fun to see the best people go one-on-one, see what they can bring out in each other's bag. It doesn't mean like they're the best and the worst, but from what I keep hearing people say, a lot of people think that the NBA aren't willing to do this because they aren't willing to get shut out by people that aren't necessarily considered the top and the best. And word on the street is that that egos might be involved because there is the possibility to get smoked by a rookie or by someone who isn't deemed as good as you. And that was exactly what happened in Unrivaled when the rookie, Aaliyah Edwards, absolutely smoked and demolished and took Breanna Stewart to school in the 1v1, which was, one, the most entertaining part about that entire tournament that evening, and two, it did bring some recognition to the event. I will say, it was like people were talking about it all over social media. The Bleacher Report talked about it and reported on it. But you know what? Breanna Stewart was pretty cool in the way that she handled it. She took to Twitter posting, "Tough night for me, but shout out to my Misty, Aaliyah Edwards. Keep that thing going and go get that bag." And she didn't look stupid doing it. She just looked like she got and she's being supportive. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should the NBA adopt this 1v1 strategy? The NBA does have the dunk contest, which the top players in the NBA consistently decline to be a part of. So I don't know. Why do you think that is? I would genuinely like to know what you think and why. And should the NBA adopt a 1v1 tournament for their All-Star game to make it a little more exciting? Do you like this new format of the 4 teams? What do you think about the dunk contest? Drop what you think in the comments.